Jim Nailon, liturgical guitarist. I'm going to share my arrangement of Shepherd Me, O God by Marty Haugen. I'll play through it first and then we'll go back and talk through it. Verse 5. Well, that was pretty close. This is not one of my easier arrangements. I've been practicing this for a few days. Let's go ahead and talk through it now. I arranged this just like it is in the sheet music. In the sheet music, it tells you, in the OCP or the GIA sheet music, it tells you to play it in E minor, capoed on the first fret. So they actually play it a half step higher than that. But if you're playing it as a solo, like a prelude or something, you don't need to worry about that. You just play it yourself, E minor. So the other thing is, if I was playing this as a prelude, I would never play 5 verses. I seldom play more than 2 verses of any hymn arrangement of mine when I'm doing preludes. This one I would probably do 3 because there are 3 different verses. But when you're singing the song, of course, you're going to do the same melody, verse 1, 2, and 3. Then you go to verse 4, has a different melody. Then you go back and you do verse 5, which has another different melody. So you can get 3 good verses out of this. So let's start with the intro here. or the refrain. E minor, and you notice I'm using the little finger here on this. I'm going to work out your little finger, but there's a reason for it. Using the little finger to play the third fret of the second string, and then go up and get the second fret of the first string. That might feel a little weird playing that there, but that allows you to slide right up into the C and keep that legato. You're going to slide on your little finger again and use it to guide you up to this G over D, which is like a D chord played on the 7th fret. And then drop down to the D, and I'm using an A in the bass on this D. And then that leads you into the B minor. So you got the sus4 here at the end of that second measure, the little finger on the 3rd fret of the first string, and you slide on that up to this B minor. So that's guiding you into the B minor. And you got to get quickly from this to the C to keep the legato. A minor, D, and then an E minor, add 2, that's got this F sharp in here. A minor, E minor, add 2, then an A major. So that's your basic refrain. Then we go to verse 1, or 1, 2, and 3. So that starts again on an E minor, and then you're going to use your little finger again, 7th fret to the 8th fret, and slide, and then to the A minor, and you only have to bar it's a half bar. You're barring the first 3 strings. And then your little finger plays the 7th fret of the 2nd string, and you jump quickly down to your 2nd finger on the E minor and the A major. And then again the same thing, the E minor. And then the A minor half bar. And then this time, just for variation, we're going to add a little trill. So 2nd finger, 1st finger, hammer on your 2nd and pull it off. And then the A major. And the A minor 7th. Now this is an interesting voicing here of the B minor 7. But you can get to it, this would be measure 15. Last measure of the 2nd line on page 2. And then slide up on your little finger up to the 5th fret and lay your B minor 7th down. We're not barring here, that's right. And then it's just like having your bar down. It's not any harder than putting the bar down. It's probably easier. But it gives you that open B, and then it puts your 2nd finger here, which is, it's easier to play that than it is with the bar and to get a good tone. I was having trouble getting the legato and getting everything clean, and then I came across this open shape, and it seemed to work. And then you hammer on with your 3rd finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string as you go into this A minor. Just get that part first, and then put the rest of the chord down. Lift the 2nd finger or 3rd finger off there. Go into the D chord, and back to our ending figure here. E minor and you go back to the refrain. And now we're going to I'm going to go on to the 4th verse. So now this time it's just a regular E minor, and then a D, and a G, and regular D, and then just keep your third finger on the third fret of the second string, and put your little finger down on the third fret of the first string, and get the third fret of the sixth string with your second finger. And then we're going to go to the fourth ending, or fourth verse. And I'm going to hit the open A, which gives me time to move up here. And then I'm going to play the way I have this fingered, and the way I play it, I use just two fingers here. I kind of get the second and third strings on the fifth fret with my first finger, and then I'm playing here in sixths. So I have my first and second fingers on the fifth fret, slide them up to the seventh, and then second and third fingers on the eighth and ninth frets there, you'll see, and then come back down on the seventh and then the fifth, and then drop down to a D, D sus4 actually, and lift it off. And then there's this little bass figure here, the A on the second fret of the third string, and bring your little finger down and grab the fourth fret of the fourth string to get that F sharp. And then go into the open G. This is the last measure of the first line in verse 4. So that's really your bass note, the root, G, but then you're going to hit the D too. Hit the G with more volume, more energy. So it's and the D should be softer. And you're going down in thirds. And then the last third there, be sure to do it with your second and third finger, not your first and second. Second and third finger, because then the last line in page 2, you're going to a C chord. So you got to go from here, keep your second finger down, and move these fingers over into a C with the suspended, that'd be a fourth, right? A sharp fourth, actually. C, D, E, yeah. Little bass figure here. Then A minor. Now this time going up on this chord, I'm using the last three fingers here, so that I can play the first and second strings, and then I lift my little finger off and put my first finger down, and then I'm going to slide on my first finger down one fret and bring my third finger down to the 2 frets, and my second finger goes over and grabs a G bass. Now that's not exactly the same chord as in the sheet music for the singing arrangement, but Marty Haugen is a great composer, and his chord palette is, I would say, much richer than the average Catholic composer. He throws in some interesting chords, which are a nightmare for a guitar player trying to arrange his music. So I had to come up with some cheats or tricks or something, and this is one of them. So that last measure, it works, and then top of the page 3, here's an E diminished seventh, and this isn't the chord that he's using either, but it works. And then slide your third and fourth fingers down, one fret, and then lift them off. Put your first finger down on the back into the chord there on the second fret of the fourth string, and then put the fourth and third fingers down. So you're playing around in this chord. Slide down, lift off, bass note, and then put that back up there. Now you're going to go into a B7. So you just slide on your third and fourth fingers, and put in your B7. Actually, your first finger can go down too, and you just bring your second finger there onto the second fret of the fifth string. Just arpeggiate that, and then a C7, just 3 notes. Don't just the fifth, the third, and the first string, and then back to the B7, and then this bass run on the fifth string, second, third fret, hammer on, and then second, open, and third fret of the sixth string and second fret. And then you're back to the refrain. Then you take the first ending again, which is also the fifth ending, because we're going to go to verse 5 now. Now we're jump to page 3, second line. Starts out just like the first verse. And then it changes, A minor 7. Now we're going to go up to the B minor 7th like we did before, but this time we're going to bar it. And then we're going to use our third finger here and drop into the A sus4, the D here, this third fret of the second string, and then put the rest of the A chord down. And then resolve that to a regular A major. And then the A minor 7th, then A minor 7th, back to that bar chord again, B minor 7th, C, D, and then the regular ending. Last time on the refrain. And this, go to the last ending, the final, and you go to a C, D, and then that E minor add 9. Now this is different. This is the A minor. You're going to leave your little finger down through this whole last two measures. The little finger stays right there on that fourth string, fourth fret. So you got the E minor. Bring your first finger over to the first fret of the second string. This is a bit of a stretch, but you should be able to. And then put your second finger down on the second fret of the third string. So you get a very dissonant sounding chord there, which sets you up for the E major with the second added. Notice there's a retard there, and on that last chord, you should play them, arpeggiate them like that. So the ending would sound like slow down and roll that chord. And that's my first arrangement of a GIA piece now. So now I have a contract with GIA as well as OCP to arrange their music. Now I'm not real familiar with the GIA catalog other than the ones that I've seen in OCP, because every church I've been to served at is always used OCP materials. But if you know the GIA catalog and you know that there are songs out there that are very, very popular within that catalog, let me know if you have ones that you'd like me to look at to arrange, and I will certainly consider it. The only reason I arranged this song was because somebody wrote me and said, you should arrange this. And I gave it a try, and sure enough, it was a possibility. And so then I contacted GIA, and they wrote me the same contract as OCP. So that's why I have to charge for this. But anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Look for more arrangements on liturgicalguitarist.com. And I pray God blesses your playing, and I wish you peace.